Okay, welcome to the workout. First note of business, if you do not have a specific reason for watching this video, please don't. It's going to be painfully boring and probably a waste of your time. So, that being said, those that have a specific reason for watching this, enjoy. All right. First is the warm-up. Today is April 5th, 2019. I know I apologize for missing a week, but I was feeling sick, and so I skipped the Wednesday workout and got back on it this Wednesday. So, and I haven't been uploading, so that's where that will continue from. Anyway, here is the warm-up. Already stretched out a little bit beforehand, so no big deal there. All right. Almost lost my balance there. 3, 4. Oh, feeling my knees cracking, but in a good way. And it's not my usual knee. Today it was the right, so maybe I did not stretch out as well as I thought I did. Alright, that might seem like I know to you, this seems like a terribly wussy workout and a terribly wussy, wussy, with a W by the way, way to get things done. But it's what I'm doing. I'm not making too many apologies for it. That warm up, not a big deal. So easy to do. All it is 13 push-ups with the little push-up bars. Then just squats, body weight, 7 of them. And then 6 what I call bends, which is bending down and kind of feeling it in your lower back, touching my toes, touching my shins, or even touching the floor. Sometimes putting a fist to the floor. Just whatever feels like a good stretch. Now I'm going to do a quick breathing exercise. I'm going to check the frame in here. See how that goes. Frame seems pretty good. All right. Anyway. Okay. So I am going to do the breathing exercise first, obviously. Breathing exercise as before. Tip of finger, first knuckle, second knuckle, base of finger, second knuckle, first knuckle, tip of finger. That's a cycle of 7. All right, so the breathing exercise is done. I pre-set up the weight for the correct amount. Now all I have to do is get myself in here and lift properly. This is going to be 4 exercises or 5 exercises for this workout. Pretty simple. This will be 3 sets. Most of them have 2 sets. First exercise, incline bench. Second exercise, it's going to be like a chest machine, which is basically like a flat bench. Third exercise is going to be, I already pre-wrote the paper on it too, so I can tell you number of sets, weights, all that, but I'm not going to tell weight because I've discussed that before. Let's see here, cable pull downs, okay, that's third. Is it, yeah, okay, cable pull downs, hammer curls are fourth, and then bent over flies, which still has a special place in my heart. First time I did those was 2 weeks ago, and that was pretty much the last day my cat was alive. And yes, if you don't like videos where somebody's belly aching over the death of a cat, well, this is not the video for you. Another reason to please shut this down, but I miss her terribly. A lot of the good stuff in the world went away, and it's sad. Maybe I should upload videos of some of the cool stuff she used to do. Here's a weird fun fact. I do not have one single picture or video of an ex-girlfriend that I had for 6 years, basically on and off. And so I'm not much into taking videos and pictures. But my cat, there's quite a few on there. Anyway, yeah. So, anyway, let's go into doing this incline bench. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, by the way, the weight in this is kind of heavy. Hopefully you can see I'm kind of bracing myself with my legs. I'm not actually going to use my arms and try to muscle it up because that's going to take a lot of energy out of me for the actual workout portion. So I'm going to use my legs to kind of lift and maybe kick up again and get it into the right position like there. Then I'll really try. This is going to be a set of 6. I'm going to count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting a little loud, but I'm not the type to grunt. So at least I didn't grunt. And putting them away is not the easiest thing in the world too. Next set will be a set of 8. Breathing exercise, set of 8. Some people might believe I'm taking a long time between sets, and there's truth to that. I used to not take this long between sets, but now I'm going through what I consider a prescription towards following a script, like a movie script. Prescription, like a doctor's prescription. I'm taking a lot of the thinking out of what I'm doing before I'm doing it. I have most of the thought process already down on paper, getting rid of decision fatigue. And based upon what I'm figuring out, number 1, what I'm doing is not optimal. Number 2, what I'm doing is able to be mostly consistent. And number 3, I believe that this will make me closer to the person I want to be. So, in other words, I once made a joke about wanting to become the man my cat wants me to be. Even though she's not around, she gave me some good goals towards. And being healthy is one of them. So, all right. Oh, one thing I've noticed, someone told me that I'm doing full extensions, and I should do less full extensions if I want to look buff. Priorities. Rather be healthy, rather have strength through the full extension of muscle capability than look buff. So, yeah, things I care about, things I don't care about. As far as I know, we won't get into it, but one thing's way more important to me right now. Maybe eventually the other one will be important, but I don't know. I think that might need to necessitate a personality transplant. All right, quick breathing. I don't necessarily like doing it quick, but my speaking got too much involved. But I guess that's part of the reason you watch this, right, buddy? All right. And it's great because I can speak my mind and not get interrupted, which is a beautiful thing. All right. That looks right. Oh yeah, I'm flipping my legs out of the kind of channels it goes in, and then put them back in right there. This is set 8. Wow. Did not have a good angle on that. Good news, I am not increasing the weight on that exercise anytime soon. Today's increase of weight was set up for hammer curls, first set of hammer curls. Next week it'll be the second set of hammer curls, and the week after that it'll be decided by next week on whatever feels strong. By the way, reiterating the idea that doing this strength training only on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the actual training. Occasionally I'll throw in little bonus mini workouts. I'm going to post up a video, maybe I already have, of like bonus things. Like you get outside your car and you find a specific type of parking block. If you're backed into the spot and you have a vehicle where you can put your hand on the vehicle, stabilize yourself, you can do some really nice calf raises on a particular type of parking block. And those feel kind of good if you've been driving for a little while. And it'll take me less than 30 seconds to get out of it. Somebody else who's spending a lot more time on their calves might take a little longer, but you do 30 seconds of that. Your legs will feel a little bit better. It'll iron out some of the stuff you got going on in your back if you've been sitting too long. I'm a big proponent of getting the blood flow to move, feeling that blood flow. While I'm cutting off the blood to my legs by having weights sitting on it. Ugh. Oh boy. Goodness me. What I do is for a treat. All right. That is why I'm not a poet. All right. By the way, falling into old habits, in through nose, out through mouth breathing, that's kind of an old habit of mine. I used to think it was the best type of breathing. Now I'm not so sure. I think there's advantages to all different types of breathing. But I'm not going to go into them except for one. If you're doing exclusively nose breathing and for some reason you end up, your nose is blocked a lot, trying to exclusively nose breathe kind of helps with that congestion. It kind of pushes it through, muscles it through, whatever you want to think about it. It's worked for me, so I won't know if it works for anybody else, but it's definitely worked for me trying to do exclusively in the nose. And I think it's lessens congestion, and I would guess, not 100% on this, but I believe it may have helped me sleep better a few nighs when I was really getting into, and still am, getting into mostly nose breathing. So just for the hell of it, the rest of these breathing exercises between sets, I'm going to do exclusively nose breathing instead of trying to make it loud by breathing out and all that. All right, third set of 10. Oh, another good thing, try to lift one side then the other. Don't try to lift both sides, especially if you're bending forward like that. I hear that may be a a bad thing for your back. I imagine it could be. So definitely like bracing myself and one side then the other and not doing it too fast. All right. Even when it's lighter like this, my first set's my heaviest, by the way. Heaviest, least amount of sets. That's kind of the way I'm driving it. All right. Get it in a nice place first, so I don't have what happened last time when my left is all wonky last time wonky. All right, I'm gonna count that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really feeling it. That's 8. Yeah, I breathe down in the mouth. I'm definitely feeling it. Oh, could not wait to get that pressure off. My mind blanked near the end. I think I did 10. I'm 80% sure I did 10. But that blanking near the end, just pushing through. What I should have been doing is thinking about the muscle themselves and maybe imagining blood flow to the muscle, powering it up, and all sorts of imaginary, fun, subjective things that, hey, it might be a placebo, but even placebos work 13% of the time, I think. Anyway. Down. It's getting weirder and weirder. All right, a little housekeeping tip. Not that my house is clean at all, but the things I really care about are organized. Okay, gonna be using these again, but not till the 4th exercise. Just finished the first exercise. Gonna be using them again in the hammer curl. So what I should do, the smart thing while I have a little time to rest, is, like I said, these pauses should be anywhere between 1 minute to 5 minutes. I don't know if that's the best thing in the world, but I'm sticking to the script. Plus, I give you all this wonderful time to watch me talk, and shut off the video right now if this is not important to you. Please, shut off the video now if this is not specifically important to you. Why on earth would someone want me to do, what is it? I think it's going to be, I don't know, 2 years, 30 videos of the same workout each. Who would want that? Obviously somebody that's a genius. Yeah, that's who would want that. Or a person that's highly driven or whatever. All right, you might have taken an insult on the word genius, and I just thought about that. So, a very particular, peculiar, successful, driven, intelligent in a very special way person. That is you. Congratulations. One of these days, I hope I'll get there. All right. And hey, thank you for being interested in my journey there. Maybe one of these days I'll make some videos about mental exercise too. Okay. By the way, the shortcuts on mental exercise is, hey, when you're driving, listen to audiobooks. Also, for me, text-to-speech, but that's more of a band-aid because normal reading has always been a little bit of a problem for me. So anyway, now that I'm jawing, for some reason I use that verb a lot, and I'm trying not to, because jawing is, who else uses that? Did I just make that up? Did I pick it up somewhere? I know I forgot. I picked up Forget About It, and I like it though. It's pretty useful. All right. Cable pull downs is next. This is going to be going down to a lighter weight. So we're doing the housekeeping, as I said before. I talked about it and I just kept talking instead of actually doing. Now I'm doing and talking. So best of both worlds right there. Okay, and the lead is really diffuse off this pencil. Maybe I should draw it in pen. But then again, I like this pencil in particular. The pencil feels pretty good. I've been writing this a lot in this pencil and it hasn't ran out of lead yet, so there's a good thing. Maybe the angle. There we go. It's weird. Right on, some of the pen just kind of blinds in, but at an angle, I can really read it better. That is bizarre. Okay. Okay. So here's the way it breaks down. One of the exercises right here, two of the exercises right here, the last two exercises are right here. We're already through the first one. I am not, if I'm being honest with myself, I am not anticipating these next two, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep the bench right here because that seems like a good distance for the hammer curls that are coming up. Oh wait, it doesn't say incline hammer curls. Don't need bench. What I will need is room to pick up the weights, so I'll put that right there. And I will need this chair for the reverse flies. Reverse flies. Okay, so we're on the move. How do you like the percussion for on the move? All right. Okay, there is the chest machine. All right. Woo-hoo. I'm gonna get psyched about this. All right, that's a good angle. I like that. Oh, already did some housekeeping ahead of time. Preset this. And since I was jawing so much before, I'm gonna get right into it. Well, I don't know if I've done any of these workouts where I've done a breathing exercise, a specific breathing exercise every single time between, and it's not going to take that long, so I'm going to go ahead do the, oh, you don't need both hands to do it. You can just do one hand, but for some reason I like both. Sit here and I'm going to go through my cycle with my fingers. Oh yeah, there's tons of different cool cycles you can do with your fingers, but for this, we're sticking just to one finger and thumb. Trigger finger, thumb. Fun thought occurred to me. I do enjoy the idea of Tuvasism. Anyway, the throat singing where you can get multiple notes, you can harmonize with yourself and all that. So singing in multiple notes. I don't like singing. I absolutely hate it, but I have a feeling, a little hunch, I'm gonna need to actually get my singing up to a proper portion, because if it is called upon, I want to be ready, and I don't want to have to spend a whole bunch of times training my voice. So I'm going to be less loud because I'm going to do some serious voice training somewhat soon. Hopefully my elocution will get better, my rhythm, my talking, my dictation, dictation, elocution, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully that'll get better, but it's going to get worse before it gets better, so bear with me. I'm going to try to speak with a higher register of voice so I can really get the range. Also, lower register of voice, lower, and really project the lower, because that's one of the weaknesses I have. Projecting a lower register and really projecting it. Right now, where I'm speaking is kind of high, low, 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 low. So I'm going to be trying to speak from, I guess, this area they call the diaphragm, I believe. I get accused of speaking from a lot lower place. We won't go into that. Although, yes, sometimes I do throw out the BS every now and then, especially if I'm doing comedy. Oh, you are never going to hear 100% truth when I do comedy. Anyway. All right, breathing test done. Breathing meditations? No, breathing exercise. All right, this is going to be possibly difficult. Let's find out. It could be 7 or 8. I think it's 8, but just in case, if I have gas in the tank. Way too fast on the release there. But I didn't release, but man. All right. Breathing exercise, next set. Although, I probably should talk for a little bit. Oh, finger stuff. Fun tip. If you're a gentleman who likes women and occasionally meets women, in this day and age, you got to be a little bit careful. Nothing against women with a penis, I guess, or guys that dress up as girls, or whatever it is. If you want to find out within a 99% if the girl you are talking to quite possibly has a penis, hands. My trigger finger compared to, well, I'll use the middle finger, but as the guiding part. Look at your middle finger, look at their middle finger, look at your trigger finger, then look at your ring finger. You'll notice on your hand, most guys, ring finger is, you point it up like, okay, middle finger is right there where it connects. Trigger finger right there kind of connects. My trigger finger, compared to the middle finger, not swaying it, is shorter than my ring finger. So you don't even have to remember anything, just look at your own hand, and then, since you own a penis, if someone else has that same setup where the trigger finger is longer than the ring finger, or the trigger finger is shorter than the ring finger, that woman may not be entirely a woman. And I don't know how I would say this without pissing anybody off, but I'm really trying to walk through this minefield without hurting anybody's feelings or making any accusations, because, man, I am not here to mess with people. If I can, make life better for the people I encounter. Make life better for most people, hopefully. But sometimes you can't do that. So, in other words, if her fingers are like your fingers, know what you're getting into. Know the possibilities there. And how do you say that? And like, oh, I need to test your fingers to figure out. No. That'll get a woman mad. What you do, and this is lying, and I know it. Well, it's not all the way lying. What you should do is investigate palm patterns. And a couple things you can identify on the palm by just reading, that one line that goes here and forks out. Like, what does that mean? Or also investigate calluses. Like, calluses definitely mean something. Palm stuff, I don't know. But it's kind of fun to talk to. It's definitely a conversation sparker. And what I like to do is, I really like going after the calluses, because calluses are a really good story. That's actually something I admire. Someone that's willing to have very good, well taken care of calluses on their hands, where they're like, hey, I play violin, and you feel the calluses on her fingertips. It's just like, wow. And if it's smooth, if it's good, if it's all of the fingers in such a way, plays guitar or whatever, you really feel those calluses, and you're just like, yeah, that equals drive, that equals skill, that equals, whenever you see her play guitar, I'm not talking about anybody specific, although I probably could be. One name just flew into my head. But anyway, really feeling those calluses, admiring a person for what they are willing to work to earn, as opposed to just having natural talent, So if you see her and she is amazing, but she really doesn't have the calluses, you're just like, well, most people seem to like people with natural talent. I'm kind of the opposite. I like when a human being, I admire when a human being starts from a lower echelon, maybe even lower than the rest, and gets better than the rest. Becomes a phenomenal guitar player, becomes whatever, and didn't have any natural talent. For example, they might have had negative talent. That's part of the reason I like music so much, because I personally started in the negative category, and I'm still trying to claw my way out. But we'll find out. Or we won't. And it might not even matter. Alright. This should be a set of 10. Now there's probably part of me that might want to follow some advice and just let go and then grab and push and let go and grab and push. I guess that's the difference between eccentric and concentric. Concentric. There's some schools of thought that eccentric, going backwards, like pushing back a little bit, really helps. There's some beliefs that doing nothing but concentric exercises towards certain exercises really is the ultimate way to move forward. I'm willing to take the middle path. I'm not necessarily going for optimal. I'm going for consistency. I just want to get better than I was yesterday. I'm not looking to get better than anybody else. It's not a race. It's a way of life. And I don't want to get injured. So letting go, I don't want to break my stuff. So, yeah. So you might send me something about not being optimal, not being optimized. That's okay, duly noted. But if you're listening to this, you already know my response. I'm not necessarily going for optimal. If it's easy step to get to optimal, yeah, I will. But if I'm not sure about it, nah. If it's too much thinking involved, if it takes away from decision fatigue, nah. But anybody can argue about almost anything, so. Wow, am I just mentally preparing myself for an argument that's never gonna happen? That's amazing. And silly. Okay, so that is done. Cable pull downs. Whew. All right. And the trusty rusty lantern is a very good spot. But not for this exercise. I'll put it back there. It needs to be back there. Oh, dude, that's gonna be way too heavy. I think that was the number. I did bring the paper. Cable push downs. All right. The memory worked for once. Okay. All right. I think it goes from here. I'm gonna put my thumbs across the top of this to simulate a rope a little bit. Did I do the breathing set last time? Good news, I'm videotaping this. I'll find out if I did a breath exercise in between everything, or if I just got off topic and went on a tangent and talked too much. works in the mouth. Set of 10. Really felt that time when I was basically concentrating on keeping my shoulders in the exact same spot, not moving backwards or forwards, trying to minimize momentum. So that felt good. All right, still recording. One time, this thing did stop recording on me. All right. I should have taken more steps to make it continuously record, but I think I'm good for this last bit. All right. So, already set up for the hammer curls. All right. Gonna do a breathing exercise, then I'm gonna pick them up. How about that? For some reason, I'm really worried if that was a minute worth of break. I guess 2 minutes is optimal. Not necessarily going for optimal, so I'm just going to get right into it. Alright. This feels like a good spot. Not going to really bump into anything. Yeah. Bend my legs a little bit. A little momentum there, I know. Might need a little bit more momentum. All right, I'm gonna try this one, no momentum. Failure might be on the horizon. Last one as far as I can tell. Tiny bit of momentum on that one. It would be so cool if in like 2 years after this project is done, I'll be like, that was the exercise, that was the workout, that was the final exercise. Thank you for the 2 people that watched them. In other words, specifically this stuff, I am pleased, not pandering for any subscriptions. I'm not gonna say smash that subscription button, because I don't want you to hurt your computer, and also because for this, unless you have a very specific reason to watch this, don't. But at the same time, I'm not going to be like, hey, if you don't have a specific reason, you just, the sound of my boring voice on this one puts you to sleep. Hey, use it for what it's useful for. And I don't mind. As long as your life is better, doesn't take away from my life, you're not using me as a comment punching bag so you can throw insults somebody's way. Although, honestly, I'm not getting nearly as many insults these last couple years. Just biggest thing I'm getting is a lot of people ignoring me. And in a certain way, I kind of welcome that. It's kind of nice when you say hello to somebody and you try to say hello to them for at least, I don't know, give them 3. And every time they're just not reacting to you. And let's say 3 separate occasions, because maybe on that one occasion they have their headphones in and you can't tell, I don't know. And you're not an eye shot, who knows. And you get to see, people who do not value other people. And those people are worth taking note of. All right. And not necessarily taking note in a reward type way. It's just if you have rewards that you're going to bestow upon people and people that you're wanting and willing to help out, especially in ways where they'll never know you help them, the people you take note of that see somebody and treat them like garbage, whether it be a garbage man or a mailman or a server or a bartender or a attendant of some kind, a tech of some kind. Noting that and just be like, well, I could have helped you out, but I'm going to hold on to this gift for somebody else. That might sound harsh, but that's the nicest way I can put it. I am thirsty. And if you're the dude that doesn't let anybody drink in your dojo until they're finished what they're doing, wah wah. Uh-oh. Cheers. That was for you. But maybe the joke's on me. I mean, look at me. Who am I? What did I turn into? So yeah, very true on that. You have a lot of a life I would like to lead. There is truth in that one too. But I do appreciate my life. Even the little girl. The last day she was alive, she laid down on 2 weights I have right here. I thought that was really, really weird because she's never done that before. And I do the equation, even doing it right now, mentally. I think about her dead. And it hurts. I take in that pain and I imagine what it would be like at 3 times the volume, 3 times the intensity. And that hurts a lot too, but thinking about that. And then right now I imagine all the good times. And those hurt as well. But the good out-quantifies, out-qualifies almost on any metric you can think of. The good outweighs the bad, is way more significant than the bad. This should be a set of 10. I did not do breathing exercises. I'm going to just do 3 quick ones or 3 slow ones. It should be 10. I should watch the video later and test my count on that one. But to be honest with you, I might not do that. Let's see the time on that. Oh, we are 46 minutes. If I take my time, it should take an hour. And actually, I will do the math on it real quick. Well, yeah, I'm going to do the math on it because I might forget to after this set. But first, I'll breathe. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. So let's say it takes 2 minutes to do a set, any given set of these. I'm going to figure out plus 5 minutes of rest time. So that's kind of maximizing. So the first one we have 1, 2, 3 sets. 4, 5, second one. Third one. 6, 7. Fourth exercise has 2 sets, so that brings it up to 9. And then the last one, this one is going to have 5 sets, but it's not a lot of weight. So, and you notice that like the beginning is the high weight stuff, and then gradually it lowers weight. That's kind of a general pattern. It's not always true. Maybe because my way of doing it is a little bit different. And I write these usually ahead of time. I mean, before I do the workout, I have it written down. This one I happened to do a few minutes before I started to record the film. But we're just going to count that up again. It should be about 14 sets. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, we're going to multiply 14 times 7. Okay, that's a lot of minutes. 14 times 7. Should be somewhere 103 minutes, 108 minutes. We'll figure out that slowly because I want to double check my math properly. So 10 times 7 is 70. 4 times 7 is 28. 70 plus 28, see, my math was wrong, it's 98 minutes. 70 plus 28, 98 minutes. All right, so 98 minutes, holy cow. If I did this like super slow and controlled, 2 minutes on every set, let's switch that out to 1 minute on every set. So that's 6 minutes times 14, so 60 minutes, that's 6 times 10, and then the other 4 times 6, 24, 84 minutes. This thing should be under an hour. So maybe my rest period's a little bit too long. Let's go ahead and reduce that rest period down to 3 minutes. So a 3-minute rest period, 14 exercises, each one taking about a minute, so that's 4 minutes. So we got 4 times 14. 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times 4 is 16, sorry. 4 times 4 is 16. So we got 16 plus 40, 56. That sounds about right. So to keep this under an hour, even if you're doing slow and controlled, you can do slow and controlled. Any of these is going to take a minute. Even a set of 15 slow and controlled, it's probably not going to be a minute. Oh, that's a good challenge. Right now, my first set's going to be a set of 15. I'm going to try to do it slow and controlled. With this amount of weight, I should be able to do it slow and controlled, and we will see if it takes a minute. Fun. Not really. But I'm going to call it fun, and in my own little subjective reality, I'm going to make myself believe it's fun. And then I might talk a little bit more about subjective reality after this is all done. And I'll introduce you to my invisible roommates. I don't know. That might be a fun, insane experiment that literally might make me go insane. But not like I haven't been there before with sleep deprivation and exhaustion and various things. But I miss my cat, man. But I hope if there is an afterlife, I hope Winks is there hanging out with my grandma and my mom and a whole bunch of my other pets growing up, a whole bunch of my family, a few of my friends. And hopefully they're all there and like, wow, you were hanging out with Yorm? Oh my goodness. And she is able to talk and wink at him and tell her why her name's Winks is after she winks. She winks at him, by the way, my name's Winks. And all the adventures that we had, doing nothing important, just talking back and forth. We had a game, it was kind of like hide and go seek. She would stay real still, and then I'd enter a room, and then I'd find her, and as soon as I locked eyes on her, she'd run right at me and just like tap me in the leg or something, then run away, and then do it in another room. But she'd usually hide like in the middle of the room, so it wasn't like she was hiding behind stuff, which was a couple occasions she went under or beside a bed or something like that, but it was a lot of fun. And the high fives. Truth be told, I thought high fives were kind of lame until she kind of taught me the lesson of my ways. But I like to pretend I taught her high fives because no one would believe me if I said, oh yeah, she likes high fives. Although there were times when we were doing the high five trick where she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do a high five on command. Rebellious teenager that once she went through her teenage years. So cat years are like 7 for every 1 year. So she's 11 years old, 77 years. She wasn't an old lady. She was very healthy and sprightly, so that math is wrong. Maybe it's half that for an inside cat. So 34 years, 33 years. Or 37 years. 38. Yeah, 38 and a half. All right, time starts. As soon as I pick these up, we'll see if this is a minute. I'm gonna do this slow and controlled. And I should be tapping every single time. Wasn't sure about my count, so obviously this could have been way slower and way more controlled. Started losing it a little bit near the end. Yeah. Next one I'm going to do. Real fast. And the one after that, the final one, I'm going to do real slow. Just to feel it. What's the difference? Alright, that felt like real fast to me. Let's try to do really slow. All right, that area right there, between there and there, giving me a lot of problems. Do not have a lot of strength in that department right there. So, the slow and controlled really made me aware of that. All right, that is the end of it, man. Workout done. Let's see if it's under an hour. I doubt it. Maybe an hour and 2 minutes. This is the time on Sprockets when we dance. All right. Okay. Whoa. According to this, it's 59 minutes and 45 seconds. Wow. Very cool. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I can't believe it's under an hour and that's done. Felt like a long hour in some ways. This interaction, you were right, it makes it easier. And it makes me more accountable. So thank you for adding to my accountability. It will be amazing if in a couple years, before I graduate to the full next iteration of the next workout, but I may make a commitment to myself out loud on video, which I can erase at any time, that I'm going to do this specific workout 3 days a week for the next 2 years. I've already started it back in September of 2018, so September 2020 should be about the end point. I'm not videotaping them all, so maybe I'll go all the way into 2021, March, April area. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. March 2021. And then I'll switch to a completely and utterly different workout. But consistency sometimes is more powerful than intensity. And videotaping this is actually making me more consistent on it. Also, believe it or not, more timely on it. So this is the part where I'm talking to you specifically, and when you ask me about my musings and stuff, and I'm usually on the spot, and to be honest, quite sometimes intimidated. My brain doesn't function as fast, I'm not as relaxed. And like, what's going on? What's been on your mind? So these are the things that have been on my mind. Obviously, a little bit of self-exploration, self-experimentation. And when people say that, they usually mean like travel, self-exploration. Self-experimentation usually means drugs. These are not code words for anything. No drugs. About the only thing I'm doing drug-wise is caffeine. And I'm thinking about cutting that off. So, although the other day I did do an open mic at a place that serves kava or kratom or something like that. I might have had one of those. I don't know if that's really on my... the good news is I didn't feel anything. So the bad news could have been maybe there was something in it. And imagine if there was something in it and it got hooks into me, which is terrifying. And then like my will, my priorities gets subjugated because, hey, if you want your priorities to shift, drink too much regularly, or do drugs too much regularly, or at all, regularly, or whatever, because that's the scariest thing. Like, that would definitely be like a drug ad, like, you know, that they couldn't show. Like, you know, so and so used to care about her kids, but now she's selling her kids she's selling her kids' bodies to get crack. Who knows? I mean, that's really dark, but like, you know, and no one would believe it until you actually go out in the world and you see somebody who has their hooks caught into them, and you're just seeing them doing horrible things. And it's just like, wow, so you're a prostitute and your daughter's a prostitute, huh? And this has been going on for what, 10 years? And wait, she's 14? Woo. You know, okay. Sorry for the hiccup there. I'm gonna get back into recording some stuff, recording the final thoughts, and maybe I'll put these two videos together before I was so rudely interrupted. All right. So anyway, there was something about an experiment with subjective reality, and that is, I used to have a lot of fun, you know, talking with my cat. Winks is no longer here, and not only was it fun, but there's something about saying your thoughts out loud that kind of lets you formulate and play with your thoughts. Now, chances are my neighbors will probably hear me talking out loud to myself, and they might think I'm crazy, but then they would hear a cat respond. Like, oh, he's talking to his cat and she's responding. Now, it was useful because I used to pretend her and I would have conversations, and see, she seemed to really enjoy the attention and having fun and all that, so there was a lot of happiness there. But there was another benefit. That was really thinking and running through my thoughts in an interesting pattern. Sometimes my thoughts, especially expressing them out loud, comes out really clunky. And it was a way for me to work on my smoothness of delivery. Now, and also, if you've watched any of these videos, you know it's very difficult for me to get to the point, because mentally I want to get to the point, but I wanted that point to have impact. And so I walk around the bush, and the bush is the point. Just walk around, and I finally get to it. And by the time I get there, I've probably lost you. In short, the experiment is this. Invisible friends. Imaginary friends. Like, I don't know if I'm going to do that right now. There's definitely some ideas. But imagine, I used to have a friend that, you know, that we used to joke about roommates. And having a roommate that was Cornelius and Soul Brother Science. And it would be something like, I would do some research on something, and I'd be talking to him. And then I'd say something that I'm totally unqualified to say something about. But I already had the research kind of in my back pocket. And I would say something that, you know, was kind of off. And then I'd be like, hey, what? Oh, Soul Brother Science says it's because of da da da. And I would just spit out the research that I've already memorized. And it would sound very, very scientific. And it also would, like, really, really sell the discrepancy. Like, what I was saying was so unscientific, and what I'm saying now is so scientific. And the further that discrepancy was, the funnier the joke. So, like, yeah, Soul Brother Science just said da-da-da-da-da. And we chose Soul Brother Science because we needed a bass player. I didn't need a bass player. He needed a bass player, and I thought it'd be funny. And I was like, oh, let's just pretend there's a bass player there. Okay, what's the bass player into? Oh, they're into the numbers, man. The bass player is so, you know, soulful, and does the numbers perfectly. A lot of soul, but a lot of numbers. All the walking is really awesome on the bass. You know, can't resist a bass line without putting a little bit of walking in there. So that came about with Soul Brother Science. And then Cornelius was based upon a stand-up routine that I never did, but playing around with the crowd and all that. But we won't get into that, or at least I certainly won't get into that. Anybody who was there that night probably remembers how I almost went there, but was already failing, so I didn't want to dig the hole even further by going so esoteric that, like, nobody was going to follow me down into the esoteric realm. I mean, there's something funny to me about the theater of the absurd,
But going so far into that, when you don't have the audience coming with you, just the smarter side of my mind, the more socially connected, socially coherent, socially cohesive, socially concerned area of my mind won out that night. Okay, so that was the experiment. That now that I actually say it out loud, do I need invisible imaginary friends to talk to? No, I'm doing enough talking on this video. This is the most talking I've done in a while. So, and that is a very, very good thing, because in this situation, I don't have to worry about listening and be very concerned about listening. So that is an advantage, because if I get my words out now, when I'm dealing with other people, I don't have to express myself. I can actually really, really, really enjoy the listening. And it seems to me that that's beneficial towards most people. I think most people would rather be listened to than listen. And I really, really, really want to get good at listening. So there's that. Okay, that seems like a good thing to end the video on. I've done this once before, where I've took two videos that one was interrupted and put them together. I should have done that with that short workout that is going to be posted up pretty soon, probably in the next few minutes. I think it's loading up on the computer. So yeah, I should probably post this up. But first, I will put these two videos into one thing, and then get ready to post it up. Okay. Fun stuff. Maybe I will. Yeah, I'll just put the two videos together right now. And today this thing won't be up, but it should be up by Sunday the 7th of April 2019. That's what I'm going to be shooting for. I'm also vocalizing this now. That way you won't get just a run of 10 videos like is going to be uploaded today, Friday the 5th of April 2019. Later it shall be.